What happens when a soulful singer sits across from one of television's most outspoken hosts and the talk takes a turn no one expected? What began as a normal promotional appearance for Teddy Swims on The View quickly became one of the most awkward moments in daytime TV. The tension was thick enough to feel through the screen, and by the end, Teddy was walking off stage, leaving the host stunned and the audience silent. This is how a simple interview turned into a viral moment everyone discussed. Stay tuned and share your thoughts below, because this story has layers you won't believe. The studio lights were blazing as Teddy Swims, whose real name is Jayton Dimsdale, sat down in the familiar hot seat of The View. His latest album was climbing the charts, and what should have been a smooth interview was about to become anything but ordinary. Joy Behar, famous for her quick wit and sharper remarks, was ready with her list of questions, but no one could have guessed where it was headed. Joy leaned forward with her trademark smirk. "Your music has this raw emotional feel to it. Is that authenticity something you work on, or does it just come naturally?" Teddy shifted slightly, resting his tattooed hands on his knees. "Well, Joy, I don't think authenticity is something you can fake. You're either real or you're not. My songs come from personal experiences and struggles that made me who I am." "Personal experiences," Joy repeated, raising her eyebrows. "I read about your background. Quite the story from small-town Georgia to stardom. But tell me, in today's music world, don't you think some artists make up stories of hardship to seem more relatable?" The air froze for a moment. Teddy's expression barely changed, but viewers could see the tension building. "Are you saying my experiences aren't real?" he asked, his voice calm but with a sharp edge. "Oh, I'm not saying that about you," Joy replied with a wave of her hand. "I just mean the industry loves a good rags-to-riches story. Sometimes I think those stories get, enhanced for marketing." "Enhanced," Teddy repeated slowly, his jaw tightening. "With all due respect, Joy, I don't think you realize what you're implying." Whoopi Goldberg, sensing trouble, tried to break the tension with a joke about the industry, but Joy wasn't letting go. "I'm not attacking you," she said, her tone suggesting the opposite. "But there's a formula to these stories. The struggle, the big break, the emotional bond with fans. It's almost like a script." "A script?" Teddy said, leaning forward. "So the years I spent working construction, playing for 20 people in tiny bars, getting rejected over and over, that was a script?" "I'm just saying—" "No, let me finish," Teddy cut in, something he rarely did in interviews. "You talk about things you clearly don't understand. You want to talk about templates? How about the template of talk show hosts who downplay real people's lives because they've never had to wonder where their next meal was coming from?" The room went silent. Even the audience held their breath. Joy's cheeks turned pink, but she didn't back off. "Excuse me, I've had struggles too. I didn't just land here." "I'm sure you've had challenges," Teddy replied, his southern drawl thicker now. "But sitting here questioning if my story's real, if my music's genuine, that's not just insulting to me. It's insulting to anyone who's had to fight for something." Sarah Haynes tried to change the subject, but the damage was done. Joy leaned in again. "Maybe you're being too sensitive, Teddy. This is television. We ask hard questions. If you can't handle that, maybe you're not ready for this level of fame." The words hit hard. Teddy's eyes narrowed, his hands gripping the chair. "Too sensitive?" he said quietly, though his voice cut through the studio. "You've spent the last 5 minutes questioning my integrity and my story, and now I'm too sensitive for calling it out." Joy tried to respond, but Teddy wasn't done. "You want to know what's not authentic? Sitting there, making big money by tearing down people who've lived through real pain. You want to talk about templates? How about the one where media hosts act like experts on everyone else's life?" Joy's mouth fell open, not expecting the pushback. "Now wait a minute." "No, you wait!" Teddy shot back, standing abruptly. The camera operators scrambled to adjust their shots. "I came here to talk about my music, not to be mocked." Whoopi stepped in again. "Okay, let's all take a breath." But Joy pushed forward. "You're acting like a child. We dig deeper here. If you can't handle that, maybe you shouldn't do interviews." "A child?" Teddy said in disbelief. "You know what's childish? Acting like you've got me all figured out when you don't know a thing about my life." The other hosts shifted uncomfortably. The audience was frozen, watching the chaos unfold. "I know enough," Joy replied coolly. "Every singer's got the same story. Tough life, big dreams, happy ending. It's predictable." That was the last straw. "Predictable?" Teddy said, stepping closer. "You think sleeping in my car between gigs was predictable? You think working 2 jobs to afford studio time was part of a plan?" Joy started to speak, but Teddy cut her off. "No, let me tell you something. You're so out of touch you can't see authenticity when it's right in front of you." Joy glared. "How dare you make assumptions about my life?" Teddy laughed bitterly. "Funny, since that's exactly what you've been doing to me for 10 minutes. Even the crew looked shaken. Sarah tried again to redirect the talk, but Teddy stopped her kindly. "Sarah, I appreciate you trying, but we're past that now." He turned back to Joy. "Here's what's going to happen. I'll say what I came here to say, and then I'm leaving. And you, Joy, will listen for once. This is my show," she snapped. "It's their show too," Teddy said, motioning to the others. "You forget that sometimes." He took a steadying breath. "I grew up in a small town where Friday football was the biggest event. My dad worked in a factory, my mom cleaned houses. I didn't have fancy lessons or industry connections, just a dream and the will to keep going." Joy stayed silent, her expression tense. "When I was 22, I was broke, singing in bars where no one listened. Every bit of success I've had, I earned. So when you question whether my story's real, you're not just insulting me. You're insulting everyone who's ever had to choose between rent and chasing their dream." Whoopi nodded, visibly moved, but Joy spoke up again. "Look, Teddy, I get you're passionate, but you're taking this too personally. I'm just doing my job." "Your job is to talk with people, not tear them down," Teddy said softly. "But clearly we see that differently." He looked toward the camera. "To everyone watching who expected music talk and got this instead, I'm sorry. This isn't what I came for." He turned back to Joy. "I've met plenty of people in this industry, but I've never met someone so determined to belittle others just to feel powerful. That's not journalism. That's just sad." The room froze. Joy opened her mouth, but no words came. Teddy unhooked his mic slowly. "You know the difference between us, Joy? When I fail, it's on me. When you fail, you drag others with you. Now hold on. I'm done holding on," Teddy said, stepping back. "I came here with respect, but I won't let you turn my life into your target practice." Whoopi tried once more. "Teddy," he smiled faintly. "Whoopi, I respect you and the others here. But this isn't it. This isn't professional. It's just cruel." Joy's face darkened. "You can't just walk out because you don't like the questions." "Watch me," Teddy said. Those 2 words echoed through the studio. He turned and walked off set. "This is exactly my point," Joy shouted after him. "You can't take criticism." Teddy stopped. "You know what's real, Joy? Knowing when someone isn't worth your time." He paused. "I hope this was worth it because now everyone watching knows who you really are," the audience murmured. Joy stood defensive. "Oh, so I'm the villain now? This generation can't handle tough talk." Teddy turned, his eyes blazing. "My generation works 3 jobs to afford rent, trying to survive in a world that's falling apart. We don't want praise, we just want people to stop tearing us down." "I'm done," he said finally, his voice quiet. "Done with this talk, this attitude, this fake journalism." He looked into the camera. "To anyone who's ever been told their dreams don't matter, don't let anyone make you feel small. Your story matters." He walked off, leaving stunned faces behind. Joy tried to recover. "Well, that was unexpected. I guess some people can't handle—" "Let's go to commercial," Whoopi cut in firmly. In less than 15 minutes, a simple interview had turned into a viral storm that would be debated online for weeks. As the show faded to break, viewers were left staring at Teddy's empty chair and the uncomfortable silence that followed. The clash between Teddy Swims and Joy Behar became more than a heated exchange. It was a moment that exposed the gap between old-school hosts and the artists they interview. A reminder that behind every success story is a real person, and sometimes walking away is the strongest thing you can do. What did you think of this dramatic confrontation? Was Teddy right to walk out, or should he have stayed? Share your thoughts in the comments and subscribe for more stories about when live TV goes off the rails.